Ever find yourself like really sucked into your phone,
Yeah.
scrolling and scrolling, and you don't even realize how much time has passed? Or maybe your mind's going a mile a minute and it's like impossible to shut off.
Totally.
Yeah, we've all been there. Well, today we're diving deep into something that might just help. Buddhist meditation. And no, we're not just talking about sitting cross-legged with incense burning. We're going deeper, exploring how this ancient practice can be like real mental fitness training for our modern lives.
I love that mental fitness training
That's
because
what?
that's really what it is. And like any good training program, it's about building skills and resilience.
So before we get ahead of ourselves, let's lay the groundwork. We've got some fascinating source material for this deep dive that we're going to unpack together. One of the things that really jumped out at me was this question. What is the Buddhist teaching of meditation?
Hmm.
It seems simple enough, but then you start peeling back the layers and whoa, it gets deep fast.
It does, because it challenges a lot of our preconceived notions. It's not about emptying your mind, and it's not about escaping reality.
Right. It's not about like zoning out.
Exactly. It's about changing your relationship to your thoughts, your emotions, the whole experience of being in the world.
So instead of being ruled by our thoughts and emotions, it's like we're training our minds to be more aware of them, to observe them without getting totally swept away.
And that's incredibly powerful, that awareness, that ability to create a little space between you and your thoughts and feelings. That's where the real transformation happens.
So let's unpack that a bit. What kind of training are we actually talking about here? What does Buddhist meditation involve?
Well, there are different techniques and practices, but a key element is cultivating certain qualities like focus, awareness, kindness, and compassion.
Kindness and compassion. Now, those are some interesting words to use in the context of meditation.
They are. But it makes sense when you think about it. If we're trying to train our minds, wouldn't we want to train them to be more kind and compassionate, both to ourselves and to others?
That's a really good point. Okay, so we're talking about more than just like feeling calm and relaxed during meditation, although that's definitely a nice perk.
Right. It's about those feelings and qualities actually impacting how we think and act in the real world.
So give us an example. How does this play out in everyday life?
Let's take a super common scenario. You're feeling overwhelmed or stressed. Maybe you've got deadlines piling up, the kids are acting up, and you just feel like you're at your breaking point.
Hmm, I think we've all been there.
Right. Now imagine you're in that same situation, but you've been practicing Buddhist meditation. Instead of getting totally swept away by that stress response, the racing heart, the tension, the mental spiraling, you're able to notice those feelings as they arise, without judgment.
So you're not suppressing the feelings, you're just observing them.
Exactly. And that creates a little space, a pause button. And in that space, you have a choice. You can react in your usual habitual way, or you can choose a different response. You can choose to respond with more awareness, more intention, and even more kindness, both to yourself and to the situation.
So we're not just reacting on autopilot, we're actually responding with more, I don't know, like wisdom or something.
Yes. And with compassion
Yeah.
for yourself and for everyone involved, it's about recognizing that we're all just doing the best we can with what we've got.
Wow. This is already making me rethink my whole approach to stressful situations. It's like we're upgrading our mental software to navigate life challenges with more, well, like you said, wisdom and compassion.
And the best part is, this isn't just some nice sounding idea, there's actual science backing it up.
Really? Tell me more about that.
Yeah. There's been fascinating research on the effects of different types of Buddhist meditation on the brain. One study I read about focused on loving kindness meditation, which is all about cultivating feelings of love and compassion.
Okay, so how did they study that? And what did they find?
Well, they used brain imaging technology to look at the brains of people who practiced loving kindness meditation regularly compared to a control group. And get this, they found that the meditators actually had increased gray matter density in certain regions of the brain.
Okay, so more gray matter, that's a good thing, right?
It is. Gray matter is where all the good stuff happens. It's involved in processing information, memory, emotion regulation, all sorts of important functions. And the areas where they saw the biggest increases were in regions associated with empathy and compassion.
So there are actual measurable changes happening in the brain as a result of these practices. That's incredible. But how does that translate into like real-world benefits?
That's the exciting part. These brain changes translate into all sorts of tangible benefits. People who practice Buddhist meditation consistently report things like reduced stress and anxiety, improved focus and concentration, even stronger and more fulfilling relationships.
So it's not just about feeling calmer on the meditation cushion. It's about cultivating a sense of inner peace and well-being that extends outward into all areas of our lives.
Exactly. It's about bridging the gap between our internal experience and our external world.
This deep dive has been incredibly eye-opening. You've really helped me see Buddhist meditation in a whole new light. It's not just about relaxation, it's about transforming how we experience and engage with life itself.
And that's what's so powerful about it. The insights and skills you cultivate through this practice aren't meant to be kept on the cushion. They're meant to be integrated into our daily lives to help us navigate the ups and downs, the joys and the sorrows, with more awareness, more kindness, and more wisdom.
I love that. So for those listening, here's something to consider. How might a more mindful, compassionate approach transform your next encounter with a difficult person or situation? It's a practice, for sure, but it's a journey worth taking.